Good afternoon, class. Today we move on to plants. So, before we get started, I'm sure most of us here, if not all of us, have seen a plant or know what is a plant. So, can you guys give me a name of a plant that you've seen before? Okay, yes, 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 good. Since we're familiar with the word plant, let's dive into the types of plants. So, who can make a guess and tell me how many types of plants we have? Okay, so we have two types of plants. So plants can be categorized into two groups. These are flowering plants and non-flowering plants. Today we will be looking at flowering plants. So from the word flowering plant, from the words flowering plant, what do you think are flowering plants? Remember, we're taking into consideration flowering. That is our keyword, flowering. So, yes, flowering plants are plants that have flowers, and you may know or you may not know that not all plants produces flowers. So yes, flowering plants are plants with flowers. This is my definition. A flowering plant is a plant that grows flowers and use seeds to reproduce or make more plants. Yes, and I'll repeat. A flowering plant is a plant that grows flowers and use seeds to reproduce or make more plants like itself. So, who can give me some plants that produces flowers and uses seeds to grow more plants like itself? Yes, we have mango, cherries, pepper, grape. So yes, these plants all produce flowers and they use seeds to reproduce or make more of itself. Everyone, open your Science Around Us, book 6, and go to page 39 where we have flowers. So we will be looking at the parts of the flowers. Okay, so here our parts, as we can see on the flower on page 39, we have petal, stamen, style, ovule, sepal, stalk, ovary, and receptacle. Okay class, let's head outside for a little activity that will help us learn more about flowering plants.
Hello class, welcome back. So today we are going to identify some flowering plants. So the first plant we're going to look at is a cashew tree. Now with a cashew tree, here this cashew tree have a flower. We would say the blossom, and with that it provides us with the fruit that is called cashew. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now and identify some other flowering plants. Okay, so now we're going to move on to a different type of plant, a different type of flowering plant. Just now we would have looked at the cashew tree. Now we're going to look at the flower. Now remember to pick the different types of flowering plants because we will have an experiment to do later on in our lesson. Now, who can tell me where the petal is on the flower? Yes, the petal is the outer part of the flower. Can you tell me what color it is? Yes, it's white. Good girl. Now, who can tell me the purpose of the petal? Yes, the petal is to attract insects to the flower. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to a different type of flowering plant. Let's go. Okay, so we're moving on to another flowering plant. Who can tell me what color is the petal of this plant? Yes, the color is red. Okay, so if you look closely here on the petal of the plant, you'll see the insect that's around it. Remember, the color of the petal would have attracted the insect. Okay, students, so since that we would have looked at the different types of flowering plant, we're going to head back upstairs into our classrooms and we're going to go ahead and do the experiment for the flowering plants. I'll hand you over to Miss Africa.
Welcome back inside class. My name is Miss Ganesh and I will be looking at dissecting the flower with you. Now I've placed a flower on each and every one of your table. Okay? Can anyone tell me the name of the flower that is placed on your table, that is in front of you? Yes, Trisha. A lily? Oh no, it's not a lily. You can give it another try. Tom, you'd like to go? Sure, no problem. Correct. Everyone give Tom a clap. Yes. So the flower name is daisy. Tom is correct. This is a yellow daisy. That is correct. Now today we will be dissecting the yellow daisy, okay? Can anyone tell me what are these things around the flower? Yes, Naomi. Correct. It's called a petal. Do anyone know what the petal is used for? Yes, Trisha? Yes, I see you established that the petal is used for one of the function of the petal is used to attract insects. So yes, the previous teacher was correct in informing you that another function of the petal is to protect the internal parts of the flower. That is another function for the petal. So you can go ahead and pick it off. You can go ahead and remove the petal there. You can remove all the petals. Yes. And when you remove the petals, do you know what that is? Do you know what that is called? This item here. Do you know what it's called? This is called a stigma. Yes, this is called a stigma. And a stigma, the function of a stigma is to help collect pollens. One of the functions of a stigma is to help collect pollens. Yes. So we're gonna remove the stigma. Also, guys, the stigma is a part of the female reproductive system of the flower. The stigma is a part of the female reproductive system of the flower. Oops, I ripped it all out. Okay. Yes, so we have one more part left here for the daisy. And the name of this part is the stamen. Yes, this is the stamen. And this is used to produce the pollen grains, which house male gametes or sex cells necessary for reproduction. Yes, this is the stamen. Okay? So we're gonna step that aside. Can anyone tell me what is one of the use for a petal? Yes, Trisha. That is correct.